It's like, and welcome everybody to DA After Dark, where it is the calm before the storm on March 10th, 2026. Oh, wait, the storm that hit yesterday or the storm that's hitting later tonight into tomorrow? Oh, wait a minute, that just happened. The first lightning bolt just struck like a little while ago. How you doing, Sam?
What the hell is going on?
Um, well, uh, the NFL has lost its ever living mind. There was almost literally almost $2 trillion in money that went around yesterday and trickled into today. And then, as of literally under an hour ago, the Ravens went, nah, we don't think so, and sent Max Crosby back to the Raiders. Whoops. Uh, it's already been talking with a few Raiders fans, and it's like, okay, so we got him back, and then the Ravens fans are like, what the hell? Apparently, something on the X-rays and the physical check was done, and the Ravens were like, eh. But as you said, Sam, as we were talking before we jumped on, what do they expect? The surgery was
Yeah,
literally just a few months ago.
yeah, I don't know what they expect unless there's something they don't like for the long term of that injury that they're concerned about. I don't know, but
Yeah, I mean, it's, but I mean, a lot of them are very confused, even long term, you know, right now. So just to catch everybody up, the Raiders announced Tuesday evening that the Ravens have backed out of the trade agreement that would have sent Max Crosby to Baltimore for the first 2 round picks. No further details were provided by in the Raiders announcement, but league sources, who we know are pretty in depth, told ESPN that the Ravens backed out because of medical concerns that arose during the physical. Trades are contingent of on players passing the physical and aren't official until the start of the new league tomorrow at 4 p.m. anyway. Ravens officials, of course, did not immediately respond for a request for a comment. The Raiders were set to meet Tuesday night to try to figure out their next steps. It is unclear whether a Crosby trade now can be revived in some form, but this puts the Raiders in a difficult situation due to all of the money they've already committed to outside free agency, which yesterday, as you guys discussed on Unbiased as well, well, I should say we, um, they they definitely spent a lot of money yesterday.
yeah, they signed half the league.
Between them and Tennessee.
And here's the thing: the other thing that this is going to do.
Um, Generally, Mike, they don't play around when it comes to, when they're doing trades. I mean, it's the team's doctor. It's not going to be the Raiders. It will be the full medical staff of doctors on hand for the Ravens. So they must have had some pretty in-depth discussions after X-rays or MRI results or whatever they were looking at.
Well, here, this just came out an hour ago from Diana Rossini. After Max Crosby underwent testing today at the Ravens facility, Baltimore made the decision as an organization that it could not move forward with the deal based on the results of the medical. Crosby will remain a Raider for now, as other teams can weigh any potential risk that comes within trading for him. So not only two first
Oh,
round picks,
Mike. Oh.
Jesus.
Oh. So, Baltimore's back at 14.
Yes.
So,
And now here's the other thing, because now good luck getting because your that value's gone now. The two first round value's gone.
for sure. I mean, if I I'm sure we will get something, or the Raiders will be sitting there going, hey, listen, can you kind of keep it to a minimum of what it was or whatever that they felt they didn't want to turn around and make the deal go through. I mean, that is a big decision. I mean, when we all saw that, we're just like, wait, what? Hold up. But now it makes things a little bit more interesting because if, I mean, a failed physical, generally definitely cuts your worth way down. But again, like you
I don't
said, the surgery it's only been a few months. So, I mean, it needs more time for rehab. I wouldn't have expected Max to start playing until almost week 8, if that.
Not only that, now the Ravens need a pass rusher.
What's up, Kev? What's up, Scott?
So that's another problem. Now the Ravens need a pass rusher. Now the Raiders have Max Crosby's salary back on their books when they just spent a whole heap of money in free agency. You're about to see a ripple effect between now and 4 o'clock tomorrow. When all this crap becomes official. Because now what do we do?
And does he bother, what do the Raiders, what is their intent, also moving forward? You know?
This whole thing is becoming a mess.
Yeah,
It's gonna send.
I know one person who's a happy guy, Joe Burrow.
Nah, he's still
Joe
not happy.
Joe Burrow is going, whew, that was close.
Uh,
Scott, yeah, the Raiders won't have to pay a QB. This is true. And let's discuss, speaking of former Raider QB, how weird is it that Geno Smith is back to the Jets?
I called that.
I was like, huh? Um, apparently Kirk Cousins is the options are slimmer. Raiders did that on purpose, the ultimate juke move. Got everybody to jump and they said nope, fooled you. The Raiders are the Ravens.
Either way,
Anthony says, do the Raiders have the money to keep Max and their new center? We'll address that when the stats man gets back in a little bit.
he will be here tonight also.
Uh, I would assume he ought to be knocking in the door any minute. Burrow still has to face Miles and TJ. Yeah, but at least he's not going through a gauntlet.
Yeah. He'll be injured by week 6 anyway, so he'll avoid at least 2 of them.
Jets will get back on track with Gino 3 and 4 times. Jesus.
Good Lord. All right, notable teams that showed interest in Max Crosby according to reports prior to the trade. Eagles, Jaguars, Cowboys, and Bears. Cowboys have already said they will not re-engage after they have moved forward with the trade for Rashawn Gary. That leaves teams possibly that could still have the interest are the remaining of Jacksonville, Chicago, and they do say possibly Philadelphia, but that ain't happening.
Failed physical is really gonna sour the milk big time.
Yeah, watch Howie Roseman, the sick son of a bitch, gets him for a third rounder.
I was gonna say it could get worse. Make him a
It's
fifth.
gonna get
Make him a
worse.
fifth or a sixth.
That's not now. Hold on. Now we're going a little too crazy.
Sad to see Knuckles go, but Pacheco was a good replacement. Yes, Pacheco going to the
Uh,
Lions, that was
uh,
interesting.
uh,
Uh, that wasn't. I was wondering who Detroit was going to replace, and I thought, well, okay.
uh,
I thought that was an interesting one. I'm like, all right, well, now that puts Walker solo, I believe, with Kareem Hunt.
that was the goal. They can't keep going with the committee of running backs. They need someone they can give the football to 20, 25 times a game and have him wreak havoc on opposing defenses. They needed that last year. That offense became way too one dimensional.
Yep.
Now, I can't speak for the five guys blocking for him in Kansas City, but we'll have to see how that all looks out on opening day.
Right. I do have our favorite friend um, up for whoops, rewind that back. Good. Let's see if we can get this share screen to work. Darn it. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Seriously? I don't know why it keeps wanting to do that. I do not know why it wants to do that. Why it loves to do that.
Max Crosby just posted on his Instagram of him sitting in his jet with his feet kicked up. Oh, tomorrow's going to be very interesting.
Here we go. We've got our friend over from Mega, and check out this video with the Jets.
For our next quarterback. Oh my god, the Jets having Gino both before and after he was good is the most Jets thing ever.
I didn't write back, but I did circle back.
We're a multi-billion-dollar sports franchise. We traded for our next quarterback.
Yeah, that was it was brutal. But I was like, that one was good. But we've got an NFL one too. We've got an NFL one. Dave, I don't know why it will not add you. Oh, I know why. Hang on. Yeah. Oh, relax. We'll squeeze you right on in here. There he is. Here is here is what he did yesterday after the gauntlet happened.
3, 2, 1. All right, make sure you guys report all of your signs. Besides Kenneth Walker. Wow. Okay. That changes a lot. Actually, no, that makes sense now. Why you were clearing so We're giving Alec Pierce $29 million a year. How much? Wait, okay, hold on. Can I first process the Chiefs telling me what they? And we're trading Pittman to the Steelers. Okay, no, I need to process that now. We signed Malik Willis to a 3-year contract. Not now, Miami. I'm trying to process what the Colts. We decided to give Tyler Linderbaum $27 million a year. But he's a center. Oh, and then also Eric Stokes and Jalen Naylor. Eric and Travis Etienne is a saint, baby. I can't keep up. Okay, you guys need to slow down. Evans is leaving the Bucs and coming to the 49ers. I'd like to react to that, but I don't think I can because there's so much going on. I feel overstimulated. We're giving Michael Pittman an extension. Oh, and we're signing Jamal Dean. There's so much happening right now. We're reuniting Isaiah Likely with John Harbaugh. You're having a panic attack. Oh, and Tremaine Edmonds. We're signing Jalen Watson to pair him back up with McDuffie. We're signing Jalen Phillips. We're adding John Franklin Myers and Wandale Robinson. And Cordell Watt. We signed Tua. What happened? I think the league just broke. Free agency starts in 3, 2.
Yeah, we were pretty much all over that yesterday ourselves. Oh, no. Remove. Definitely removing that. Mr. Zolt, how you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal. I'm doing much better than a lot of other people.
Yeah, the league was on crack yesterday. And the weirdness and I guess wildly twisted crap just happened shortly or just a little while ago. As
I got breaking news just now from Shefty.
it always happens on a Tuesday. Thank you. Go right ahead.
The Cowboys are in agreement with former Eagles and Commanders quarterback Sam Howell.
Interesting. Okay.
I was trying to that was a goal to damper the mood, but I think I failed miserably at it.
It happens.
Could be worse. Could be a Ravens fan or a Raiders fan. Or
I was gonna say Ravens fan is just back where he was. I mean, you've got your 2 picks back, so if you're really that desperate, use them for somebody else,
Right.
or just go out there, spend your money, and sign Hendrickson.
yeah, with a bad hip, no thank you.
He's getting some interesting advice.
Is he not doing exactly what Hassan Reddick did like 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Which is exactly why the Eagles said, okay, you're out of here, because I haven't heard Hassan Reddick's name since.
Yeah, that was odd.
What is going to happen tomorrow? All this stuff that just happened, what is going to happen tomorrow? Can the Raiders afford all this now? Because they went into all this. They went into this thinking Max Crosby was not going to be on their books anymore. Well, shit. And like I said, the Ravens now need a pass rusher. Hell, do they reach out to some of the edge rushers that have agreed to their deals already? Because their deals aren't finalized either.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Like, do they call Jalen Phillips and say, "Hey, Carolina's nice, Baltimore's nice too"? Like, where are this is going to send a ripple effect through the entire league.
Dave just disappeared.
Nah, he said he will return in a moment. He said, hence the. But it like.
If the Raiders keep Max, they take a $30 million cap hit.
Yeah, like how are they going to afford half the players they sign now?
Okay, so
I was going to
his
say
cap hit right now is 35.
Yeah, let's let the stat man give out the details.
His cap hit is 35. Cutting him costs you 30. So you're only saving 5. What we've got here right now, they still have a ton of cap space. But the question is going to be, what does this do like next year when these contracts mature, when Linderbaum goes to a $36 million cap hit, Colton Miller goes to a 20, Kwity Paye goes to a 19, Naylor goes to a 14, Nakobe Dean goes to 14. And meanwhile, Max is still at a 30.
Very, very interesting.
Somebody better tell that minority owner, hey, we're going to need some extra cash.
The real question is, what did they find? That's the question. Like, is this something where they were just nitpicky and they were looking for a way to back out of this deal and they found one? Or did they literally find something big? And Linderbaum might get, that's fine. Anybody can get restructured at any time. The player doesn't usually care. They're still getting their money. In fact, usually they get more of it guaranteed.
Right.
But all that does is just kick the can down the road again. And if you noticed, I pointed this out in our chat. If you notice what the Raiders were doing, every free agent that they signed, none of them were longer than 3 years. And I think they did that for a reason. Because they did it so that all those contracts expire right about the time when they have to start thinking about extending Mendoza. When they do have to extend Ginty, and they're thinking about extending Mendoza. And then they can decide what direction they want to go.
Yeah.
Other NFL GMs have a lot of questions after the Ravens backed out of the deal because of what they told the Raiders were medical concerns. It's what Pelissero is reporting at the moment.
That's where I'm thinking they are concerned about the long-term health of his knee after the surgery.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Max Crosby has always been a specimen. Dude is physically fit. I'm not going to sit here and believe that he chose this offseason to just light it up and, spend $100 at McDonald's every day for lunch and dinner. I'm sure he showed up in shape, which tells me they either found something or that injury he had at the end of the year didn't clear up. Maybe they're looking at, now we have to go in and fix this. Maybe we're going to lose him for X number of games this year. Maybe we lose him for longer than that. Whatever it is, we're going to find out at some point because we always do. But like I said in our chat, this kind of tanks his trade value.
Well, one GM, Mike, I was going to say, Mike is messaging me. He says, one GM summarized the feelings around the league. This is very much BS on Baltimore's part. I wonder which GM that was.
Look, every team has the same right to refusal as far as trades.
Right.
If somebody comes in and they fail the physical, that's not on the Ravens.
No, it's not.
Unless they took something and exaggerated it to eliminate this deal, and I'm not saying they didn't, but you knew full well what you were giving up and what you were getting. And then suddenly if you find out you got damaged goods, that's why this rule is there.
Yeah, for sure.
And frankly, if the Raiders knew something, it was on them to disclose that, because otherwise you have this situation, and the Raiders are the only ones who've gotten screwed out of this.
Yeah, because I really, as the guys are saying, it's like, well, they spent a lot of money yesterday.
They did. They spent a lot of money.
A lot of money. That, I mean, we were clearly saying, "Oh, well, the Raiders won the day yesterday." It's like, well, hold the phone. We couldn't say anything until let's see how it plays out during the season. But it's like, okay, did you spend all that money, and saying, hey, yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and then it's like, yeah, the bank rejected your loan. It's a whoopsie. So you're saying the Ravens didn't know how long the injury lasts?
I'm saying there was something, they found something different from what they had believed. Scott, that's almost a whole separate topic.
That's a whole separate show.
But no, I mean, it's not that bad, but there's a few pieces there that I'll get to that.
No, Anthony, that's why they've got that in place. It's like, yes, you can do the trade, but any trade or any signing isn't valid until the physicals are done and are cleared.
All the opposing GMs are going to know is what's been put out there as far as the injury report.
And if you don't think that phone calls had been made to Baltimore going, what'd you find?
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of phone calls right now.
Somebody's going to say something at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yes. And another thing is, and I found this out I found this out 7 years ago. When you bid on a team for as long as like Crosby's been on the Raiders, when you go to a new team, they conduct a completely full physical of you.
Mm-hmm.
Teams every year conduct physicals with their players, but there are some things they're not looking for because there's some things that your team that you've been on for so long doesn't look for. Good example, John Durhambas, the Eagles long snapper. He was with the Eagles for freaking 10 years. The Eagles trade him to the Saints. The Saints conduct a full freaking physical of him. They detected he had a heart condition that if he played football for another year, he could have died.
And I'm not wishing this on anybody. You don't know if that's what they found on Max.
Yeah.
I mean, stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
Sam, that's a good example.
But like literally, John Durhambas said it, as emotional as he was the day he was traded, because the Eagles traded him to the Saints. He said the Philadelphia Eagles saved my life because they traded me and they found this.
And Kevin with the over 50 million in dead money. Yeah, but 46 of that is 2 players. Anybody want to guess what 2 players they're paying dead money for? One of them's getting almost 30. The other one's getting over 16.
I was going to say, wasn't one of them Carr?
No, it's not Carr. At least not at the moment. One of them just got traded. Gino.
Oh,
good Lord.
They're taking a $16 million cap hit for Geno Smith.
Ouch.
Or a dead cap. And then there's a dead cap hit of 29.7 for defensive tackle Christian Wilkins.
Oh, God. And like I said, like this just sends a ripple effect because now the Raiders have to reassess their free agency. Can they still afford to take on all these players? The Ravens need a pass rusher, which Trey Hendrickson has a bad hip. Let's go see that. Let's see his physical in Baltimore and see if they pass him.
And Hendrickson, here's the thing with Hendrickson. Obviously, he wanted a payday. It's free agency. Everybody wants a payday.
Right.
He knows he was the top, quote unquote, top defensive end on the board, depending on your board. And then, I'm sorry, who the hell just gave Phillips $40 a year?
Not my team.
Because holy Christ, Hendrickson's camp is just counting the money, and all the teams in the league are going like, you are out of your damn mind.
Right. And what's his face got 30. It's like, huh? It's like, okay, but is he worth 20, 30, or 40? That's the big question. Is he worth what he wants and what the league goes, yeah, right. Are two different things.
Go ahead, Sam.
That's the other thing I asked. So when you walked away for a second, what are we in right now? We are in the legal tampering period.
Correct.
Does Baltimore reach out to some of these players that have quote unquote agreed to deals and say, we'll offer you the same deal. Come to Baltimore instead.
Here's the thing. Yes, it is the quote unquote legal tampering. It's not what it's called anymore. They specifically don't call it that, and they hate it when people call it that because it is not tampering. You are allowed to talk to people. You can turn in contracts with the league, I believe, at 4:00 tomorrow.
Yes, that's when the league year kicks.
But I can almost guarantee you contracts have been signed. Via fax, electronic signature, however the hell you want to do it. It was like, hey, we're going to get this to your agent. Your agent can get it to you. We need you to sign it, get it back to us. Those are legal documents, regardless of whether they've been turned into the league yet or not. So I guarantee you the league has let everybody know when these things are announced, you're not backing out of it. So make sure when you're announcing these things, this is what all sides want. The only way anybody's getting out of these contracts that have quote unquote been announced is, again, if somebody fails a physical. I mean, we're not.
All right.
They're not going to play the signing bonus game. They're not going to play the NIL college game.
Well, no, I just think back to that shit with Frank Gore when he was an Eagle for a day, and then the next day he backed out of his deal.
Right. Yeah, the league, they'll let you get away with a lot of crap. But there's a reason this period exists, and there's a reason that all these are announced as done deals. Because they are. The league can say anything it wants. Since they instituted this, have we heard of this ever happening? To where it was announced that somebody signed and then suddenly they weren't?
No, we've just been making fun of how they say the period starts at noon on Monday, and by 12:02 we have people signed already.
Right. Oh yeah,
that's the joke we have.
All right, so we knocked that out real quick.
We have a tweet from Max Crosby's agent that just came out.
Oh snap!
All right, Max continue. Oh wait, let's host of the show just leaves you and me to do all the work.
That's fine.
Yeah, sorry.
Ratings went up.
Family business.
Ratings. Well, no, George, we have a tweet from Max Crosby's agent. So here it goes. Max continues to be on track in his recovery, and if anything is ahead of schedule, and wait, hold on. And if anything is ahead of schedule, according to his surgeon, Max remains on track to return during the offseason program and will undoubtedly return to the dominant game wrecker he has been the past 7 seasons. Which basically is probably the Raiders saying, can you tweet this out so we can still keep this fucking trade value up, please?
Yeah, I mean, it's agent in agent speak saying, hey, my dude's fine. Ignore everything that you just read.
This is very interesting.
Going back to Hendrickson real quick, we were talking about his potential compensation. The rumor that's going around is that what he's asking and what teams have offered is about $10 million apart per year. There's no way he can be asking for 40, right? And I don't think any team has offered him 30.
Well, let's just say if he is asking for 40, his physical will immediately be
Right.
a CTE test.
So,
Because
I mean, I could easily see teams offering 20 and him wanting 30. But in that case, I honestly think teams would go above 20. How far is the question? So I'm thinking we're looking at somebody has offered him 25 and he thinks he's getting 35. Or at least in that ballpark. And frankly, this situation just means he's probably not coming down from that ask anytime soon because he knows he's what's left.
Yep.
And again, he's coming off of a hip injury, which at 31 years old, not sure how that will respond long term. And he's coming off he only played 7 games. He only had 4 sacks. It's not like he's coming off the 2 17.5 sack seasons. Like I said, this is Hassan Reddick all over again.
And he is not 26.
No, he is not.
He is 31, if I remember right. And I believe he's asking for a minimum 4-year deal.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
So you better be expecting some void years at the end of that.
Yeah, I was going to say pretty quickly, too.
I got a little bit of breaking NBA news.
Clint said he was asking for like 36 million last year. Well, you crapped the bed in Cincinnati this year, buddy boy, so you are not getting anywhere near that.
Listen to this real quick.
What you got?
Well, I'll just say this. Kobe Bryant now is 3rd all time in most points scored in an NBA game. Miami Heat center Bam Adebayo has scored 83 points tonight.
Wow.
He is 20 of 43 from the field, 7 of 22 from 3. He is 36 of 43 from the free throw line.
Wow. How many fouls is he? How many? Jesus.
And the funny thing, somehow nobody on the Wizards has fouled out in this game.
I was going to say, good God. Kevin's spewing numbers. Max is 28.
I've got him at 29, but sure. I'm trying to think what his current contract runs through. He's signed for a minute.
43. Yeah, that's Brian. I'm with you. It's like, wait a minute. That's a lot of free throws.
Crosby's under contract through 2029.
He's got an extension last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next player has 5 on the Heat. Yeah, that's just nuts. What's up, Clint? He must have was in the lab with Joe Wilson today. Yeah, this should prove to be very interesting when or if how because Baltimore has been asked to turn around and specify, okay, what's going on, it's like, hello, yeah, I totally see that the Raiders will be like, look, it's going to kill our trade value for him, but, let's, try to clarify what exactly you did or didn't like. So that way, when the Raiders try to pass him off to the next team,
Mm.
that they will turn around and get a heads up on it.
To answer Brian's question, yeah, they can technically still afford him and the guys that they signed this year. It's just next year and the year after that when these other contracts really start to kick in and everything goes even higher, that it's definitely going to change how they approach other things. Like for now, at least, they might not shut it down, but if they had another chip or two to play for free agency, that might have changed what the game plan is. And from our source out there in the Baltimore area, the media out there is saying that it was straight up his knee.
Well, and we've said it's like, dude, what do you expect?
So there's something long. They're concerned. They are concerned about something long term in that knee.
Or at the very least, they feel it's going to take longer to recover than they were led to believe.
Right, which I mean, and that's not per se a failed physical. It's just that doesn't bode for what their anticipation of, hey, in the long term, it's going to be, yeah. um they're not liking how things look to be progressing. And it's like, oh, well, it could get better, but then again, it could get worse. Well, no kidding, geniuses. Clint says, I think Baltimore realizes all the losses to their defense they took and want to get those picks back and replace those guys.
I mean, there is a non-zero chance that they had buyer's remorse and came up with a reason to scuttle the deal, but I don't know.
There's going to be a lot of ifs, as Scott Sanders likes to say, ifs, buts, and candies and nuts. That's to borrow his phrase. There's going to be a lot of speculation. And until Baltimore actually comes out and says anything, and that's the downside. Anthony, you're killing me. Watch, we hear Lamar gets a new deal tomorrow.
That's funny.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one, Anthony. I like that one too. I like that. That's good. That's good. I like that. That's good. That was really good. I know we didn't get to touch base too much on it, but the Lions have made a few moves too. Let's recap a little bit for yesterday's high activity levels that we had.
We're not on the board today.
Today wasn't as quickly paced as yesterday was.
Because there ain't nobody freaking left.
There's still guys left.
There's plenty of guys left. There's lots of guys left.
As of like 4 hours ago.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. There's Scott's full line.
The Athletic had their top 150 free agents, and there was still about 70 of them left.
Well, fuck what I said then.
So I was going to say, Max Crosby goes back to the list.
Right. Well, he wasn't a free agent.
Or I'm sorry. But looking to be moved.
Right.
I got something that was just tweeted from. Well, it's from an article that Ian Rappaport put out about Max Crosby. I think about a month ago, and Garofolo just brought it up. Here were some key points in the article. This now again, this is from Ian Rappaport. While Crosby is ahead of schedule, and the repair to his knee was considered to be the best case scenario, it likely means he won't be medically cleared before free agency officially begins on March 11th at the start of the new league year. Teams can trust their medical experts and project a player's health, so a trade is at least possible, but rarely are players not yet finished with their rehab included in blockbuster trades. This likely means that if Crosby is traded, it may be much later, perhaps at the 2026 NFL draft prior to the season.
I was gonna say, does this push him actually back to June 1? I was actually going to even go later than that.
Can
I
I just
was actually going to go June. Does this push him out to June 1? Would you wait until June 1 to turn around and check out that knee? Or would you jump on the chance before the draft or at the draft or during the
uh,
draft? During the draft.
good question.
That's why I asked it.
I doubt we get anything before the I doubt we get anything before the draft at this point.
Oh, well, yeah. But I'm just saying, do you actually wait to June 1st?
You may have no choice.
And frankly, if you're the Raiders, are you even taking Baltimore's phone call right now?
Oh, I'm not
I'm
saying
taking.
it would have to be Baltimore.
I understand.
I mean,
I'm
at this
taking the
point,
phone
you're
call,
going to have
and
to June 1. You're also looking at, okay, June 1, the teams can make cuts to free up more cap space. So that's what I'm saying. Do you wait? Who waits until June 1 and possibly takes the flyer out at June 1?
and to answer the question, are they taking Baltimore's phone call? Oh, I'm taking it, and I'm saying 3 words, and I'm hanging up. And those words cannot be echoed on this show. Well, I mean, it can.
Kind of no.
It's something I like to say to. It's something I like to say to my co-host a lot because he's a pain in my you know what.
Anthony said, "Oh, I wanted to say, should the Falcons wait for Kyler Murray and not sign Tua now? Murray would cost the same, right?"
Well, that's
I
because the Cardinals haven't officially released him yet.
This is true. He's not technically been cut. Probably because they were waiting to see if somebody would offer them like a 6th rounder or something.
With all the re-signings of all their own players the Lions made, I think they really should have re-signed.
Mick Robertson. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure what the plan is for the defense because they haven't really addressed it. I mean, it is distinctly possible, though, that the Lions are looking at this draft and just seeing a lot more defensive talent than offensive.
There is. It's a loaded draft of edge rushers and safeties
Yeah.
with some decent talent at corner.
My biggest thing is there was a few linebackers I wouldn't have minded them to take a shot at, but we'll see how the rest of this plays out. It's by no means is it done.
Well, there's a nice middle linebacker sitting in coming out of freaking Texas Tech that I think would fit the Lions quite well.
And this guy says there is no plan.
I feel there's the basics of the concept of a plan.
I was I was totally flabbergasted by the Jets taking back in Geno Smith because I was like, wow, where does Kirk Cousins go? And it's like, wow, well, the Jets are now off the table. Does Kirk Cousins, if we're reuniting, does that kind of lean that we're reuniting Kirk Cousins with Minnesota?
No, Minnesota's waiting for Kyler to get released.
Yeah, they've been they've been the favorites. NFL Network has them as the favorites.
Yeah.
Speaking, this isn't big. I'm only bringing this up because it's George. I have a little bit of 49ers news for you that I can actually give you some decent insight on. 49ers are in agreement with former Eagles reserve offensive lineman Brett Toth on a 1-year deal.
Household name, Brett Toth.
So
need as much as we can stack on that offensive line at the moment.
Well, I'll give you this. Toth had to play a decent amount last year due to the fact that Landon Dickerson and
Right.
Cam Jurgens both were banged up.
Yep.
He can play guard, he can play center, and I will say, in a lot of the time he was out there, he was serviceable.
Yep.
Now, granted, he played next to Jordan Mailata a lot of the time, but still, he is serviceable.
Yeah.
So it's a decent look. I'm upset about it.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at it because, like I said, we need some filler on that offensive line.
Damn it, I wanted Toth to come back here. Gosh damn it.
Which Bosa?
Yeah, hang on.
The healthy
on the
one.
List. Yeah, right?
Yeah. I'm like, you just can't sit there and go Bosa.
Joey is still available. He was listed as number 37 on the list.
Can Joey just grow the hell up and go to frickin' San Francisco with his brother and call it a damn day?
No, he wants to actually, finish his career.
Oh, yes, because he's done such a great job of that so far.
Them's fighting words.
Are you kidding? He wouldn't even make it off the plane with his history.
Wow. Yeah, see? There we go. Yeah, everybody's saying.
Watch, they both get hurt on the same pass rush play.
Right.
You know what they would do, right?
Washington moves a lot.
You know what they would do, right? They would literally meet a running back in the backfield and collide helmet to helmet with each other and concuss each other. That's what they would do.
Clint says, no matter what, I need Kirk Cousins to get next contract to be $25 million guaranteed. His agent needs to get this going. His GOAT status as an agent is possibly on the line. Well played, Clint. Well played. Yeah, well, I mean,
we made a little splash today.
So where does Cousins go?
Let me think.
Arizona is the only thing left.
Arizona doesn't want him.
Arizona will pay him too much.
They signed Minshew for crying out loud.
Let me clue you in on two teams. What is Arizona doing? What are the Jets doing? This is tanking.
Yeah, they're tanking. Oh, wow. Clint, I praise you and then you slam me. I was going to say, I don't see a spot for Kirk. He's not starting anywhere.
No, there is no spot for him to start. You think he does the thing where he just hangs out, waits for somebody to get hurt?
It would have to be. Oh,
go somewhere where he thinks he can take a job.
Well,
Cleveland.
Well, we just said that apparently Minnesota's waiting for Kyler to be released tomorrow.
He could be the Steelers' backup plan.
Or I was going to say, because Aaron Rodgers, still hiding in his cave right now. So
frankly, if you're the Steelers, maybe he should be your first plan. But
right. You may not want to wait. Because didn't they only sign him for 1 year?
That's kind of his MO nowadays.
So it's like, if I'm Pittsburgh, it's like, why do I want to wait for him? Just go ahead and do it.
No, I mean, I think for whatever reason,
I mean,
Rodgers is their first choice.
because wouldn't Aaron Rodgers, just be sitting there and sitting out there and all these other teams going, do we want Rodgers? No, they don't want
No,
Rodgers.
no, nobody else does.
Nobody else does. Nobody does.
Steelers or retirement?
It's probably retirement. And he should. It's like, dude, you're done. Sorry about your luck. You're done. I mean, is he really going to try to do a resurrection with McCarthy? I don't think it's possible at this point. I really don't. Sam, thoughts?
Ah, I don't really have any thoughts with Aaron Rodgers anymore. He doesn't. He blows my mind every offseason now.
Mike, put your beer down, dude. Put it down.
Holy shit!
Yeah. Although, hasn't Kirk Cousins said once before he's not interested in mentoring?
Yeah. He is definitely not interested in mentoring.
Oh, there goes Cleveland.
Dude, that I told you yesterday, that room is full. They ain't even got any room for anybody.
Just because the room is full doesn't mean you can't improve it.
This is
No,
a fact.
there's no improving that room.
You can say you can say that all the hell you want.
Dude, a well-placed grenade would improve that room.
Gee. Oh, Jesus. We're getting canceled for sure.
Oh.
Sorry, I've been playing too many shooters lately.
Okay.
Apparently.
All right. Ian Rappaport may have just made the tweet of the night.
Okay.
He just said, on a way of looking at tonight's event, the Raiders spent $281.5 million in free agency to build up their team and just acquired one of the best pass rushers of the last decade.
Oh, yeah.
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 He thinks your Brown's comment about the grenade was hilarious.
I bring the funny. That's what I'm here for.
Oh my God.
Kevin, you know me, could care less about Cleveland. Did you see that Khalif signed with the Bears?
Yeah, I saw it. Obviously I hate the fact that he went to the Bears. But I mean, it is what it is. He's going to go somewhere. He wasn't staying here.
Yeah, I was going to say there. that was funny. Is the only thing is, the whole, non-Max Crosby news, of course, is the 83 points dropped. It's like, well, okay, that's tons of fun. The 49ers kind of putting a 4-year deal on their kicker, so they don't have to worry about that. They've actually got something that works. I'm not mad at the Mike Evans thing. I'm in all serious reality of it. it's like, you know what? I need somebody to turn around and help Pearsall, find direction and work with him, and definitely not have to put so much pressure on him trying to, forcibly make plays that aren't there. Dang, Scott. Scott just said F Ben Johnson.
I
Damn,
mean, there's
that's violent.
some of that sentiment.
According to a Tennessee Titans article, Kevin Zeitler plans to play for a 15th season for anybody who's looking for interior offensive line help.
Yes, this is also known as "Please, somebody notice me. I'm still trying to get signed."
How does it say? Talking about balls tomorrow at 7. Justin's just dropping in his all out topic list, and it's like, whew. Yeah, they haven't been on in about 4 weeks, so he's got a lot to kind of recoup and recover for sure.
It's been a pretty boring 4 weeks.
Yeah, there ain't nothing going on.
I was just telling him, yeah, thanks. You caught me right in the tail end of our stuff. But I saw, and I shared it. I think it was Brian who turned around and posted the U.S. is losing to Italy 5-0, and WBC and Hutch will retear his A. They said that because Clint said, and Hutch will retear that ACL. Damn, them's fighting words.
I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of people around here calling this a gap year for the Lions. I don't necessarily buy that, but I mean, if that were to happen with Hutch, then yes, this would very much be a gap year.
What are your thoughts on everybody saying that the Lions are pretty much going to slide and not even make the playoffs this year?
First off, I have not heard that from everybody. Dustin's thing on Sam's show yesterday kind of threw me because that's literally the first time I've heard that. Oh, these people are just trying to get away from Detroit because they know they're going to be bad this year. I mean, that's not at all what we're hearing here. The Decker thing is, we know what happened there. He wanted to come back. The Lions wanted him to take less money. I mean, it was pretty obvious. I mean, and he said, I don't want to take less money. I want to come back. And I think they also flat out told him that the job at left tackle was not necessarily his. So, look, I feel for Decker, but the games that he played last year, I think he made 14 games, if I remember right. He even said it in an interview after the season was over. Every day he was doing 6 to 8 hours of medical in addition to all the team stuff, just so that he could play. That's how bad his shoulder was.
And that's pretty bad.
That's when you factor in the fact that, he also has a family that he was not seeing during that time, basically. So I get the fact that he wants the money that he has earned, that he was under contract for. I also understand the Lions needing space. They need cap space. So it came to a head. Decker asked for his release. The Lions let him go. And frankly, once he was released, he technically became the top tackle on the board. He's still not signed.
He's still contemplating if he wants to play.
I think so. And I think a lot of teams are contemplating, is he still the guy he was before he got hurt?
Because if he was still the guy he was before getting hurt, and if he was like having that niche to like that big niche to play, dude, Ozzy Trapillo's not playing next year in Chicago. Ben Johnson wouldn't even have went to the front office. He was said, "I'm calling too. The hell with you guys. I'm calling this one." Like that's just does it not? That just makes the most sense. They need a 1-year stopgap. Hell freaking luck.
Yeah. Yeah. And frankly, I mean, the projection for him is 1 year at 22, which is exactly what he had left on his contract. So there doesn't seem to be any teams lining up to pay that. And again, I have to believe it's the issue with, dude, are you really going to try to go through another year with the shoulder as messed up as it is?
Yeah.
So, as far as Anzalone, another situation of guy running away from the team. No, this is what happened. He was signed. He was ready for an extension last year. He wanted an extension because the Lions were handing them out. The Lions made it known to him they were not planning on extending him last year. They wanted him to do one more year to figure it out. Anybody remember what Anzalone did last offseason? He did a quiet hold-in because he wasn't getting an extension. He started practicing because the Lions gave him extra incentive last year to play. So he played. Any surprise they chose not to keep him? No, he held them up for more money in the last year of his deal because he didn't get an extension. He wasn't.
He went to. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna. He was not staying here.
Not to mention he went to a place that has no taxes, so he went to Florida.
Yeah,
so.
this is true.
That's
he got his money.
Guys.
He got more money yet again from previously, and the Lions didn't want to pay him what they paid him last year, so they weren't going to increase it. So I don't want to say this is best for both parties because obviously the Lions are going to miss having him at linebacker, at least for now. But
not to mention you have other priorities coming up for contracts.
Yeah, I mean, you were not going to re-sign him.
No,
the team didn't want it, and frankly, I think he was at a point where he wanted to leave. So, purely because there was animosity.
Well, and that's like what I mean. Oh my God! All day yesterday. Like I said, there are not many toxic places that I can't figure my way out of. Eagles Twitter is one of them that I just cannot find a way to get out of. You're getting tweets from people at like 3 hours into this thing. Is Howie Roseman awake? Why? Because he didn't pay Jalen Phillips $30 million? I'm not paying him that.
Right.
Like I said, The Eagles and Lions are almost kind of in the same predicament.
Yeah.
They have players that are going to need to get paid. The Eagles have to pay guys. They just paid Jordan Davis. They're trying to pay Jalen Carter, who still has 2 years remaining on his deal.
Yep.
Now, because they know what that price tag may be in a couple years. Thanks to Trent McDuffie, I'm going to have to set the freaking defensive back market not once now, but twice because I got 2 really good ones. And so it's like, and then look, today comes out. We needed another outside corner. I will gladly take Reek Woolen on a 1-year deal. Because if there's some.
That's just it. Everybody looks at day one of free agency. I mean, obviously, that's the big splash. I get it. And you know what? It's great when you can make a splash like that. For example, let's take Linderbaum for a minute. Do you think any team that is currently competitive can afford to pay your center that much?
No. The competitive team he was on couldn't do it.
Exactly. And as far as like Phillips goes, that is, I liked this term. That was a reckless amount of money.
Yes.
It's not about what you do on day one. Yes, it's kind of like when during the draft, everybody likes making the sexy pick. Everybody wants to get their running back. They want to get their wide receiver. But great teams are built in the trenches, and it's not sexy to take an O lineman. It's not sexy to take a defensive tackle.
Right.
But you know what? They sure as hell help.
Yes, they do.
So don't worry about day one. Don't even worry about day two. Worry about the end of week 1, week 2 of free agency when you're getting these guys on 1-year deals that didn't quite cut it. Brad Holmes loves picking up guys that are coming off of an injury and probably have a chip on their shoulder.
And that's what Howie Roseman likes to do. He likes to go with guys. He likes to play the compensatory pick game.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did we get 4 of them last year when we lost Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, we are already projected to get 4 from just this past 2 days from losing Dean, Blankenship, Jahan Dotson, and Jalen Phillips.
Yep.
And guess what? If Reek Woolen comes to Philly this year, plays on that 1-year deal in Vic Fangio's scheme, where he's playing opposite of an All-Pro in Quinyon Mitchell and next to an All-Pro in the nickel in Cooper DeJean, balls out and gets a huge payday from another team, guess what? There's another compensatory draft pick. That's the game Howie Roseman plays. Because again, this is how good teams are built. They draft good young players. People were upset yesterday upset. Someone literally said Howie Roseman lost his touch because of Nakobe Dean going to the Raiders. First off, I love Nakobe Dean. I'm not paying $12 million for an off-ball linebacker who played only one somewhat healthy season.
Nope.
And again, you drafted Jahad Campbell last year in the first round for a reason.
Yeah. That's just it.
We knew this was going to happen. We knew we saw this. He literally said at the fucking combine, we are going to be a team that is focused on draft development and going into free agency when we have to. They needed a number 2 corner. They went out and got Reek Woolen, which, by the way, just a little backstory on this. I'll talk a lot about this on Unbiased on Monday. Remember the 2022 season, Woolen's rookie year, where he set the world on fire? 6 interceptions. Guess who was his defensive coordinator that year in Seattle? Current Eagles defensive line coach Clint Hurt, who ran a similar scheme to what Fangio runs here. If there is a defensive mind that can make Reek Woolen that playmaker that he is at 6'4" and who runs a 4.26, it's Vic Fangio.
Okay. I gotta go for a second. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. Sam, gonna kick this one back to you. Clint said, don't the Eagles have to pay Smith?
Which one? Devontae Smith or Nolan Smith? Nolan Smith, yes, he will be up for a contract next year. Well, actually, no, he's up for one. No, he's up for one this year too, actually. Devontae Smith already got paid. And and the other one that he put, Reed Blankenship, he just joined that loaded-ass secondary in Houston.
Yeah. Anthony, I got to get back to this one. Anthony, I am going to take my guess with the Miami Dolphins at this point.
Oh, God. They go from Tyreek Hill to Stephon. Why? The hell, man?
Anthony, tell me it's Miami. Tell me it's Miami. I mean, that would be hilarious.
All right, so we got another Max Crosby update.
No, it's the Ravens, he said.
They have been linked to Diggs for a second because they need a receiver.
For what? They don't throw the ball. Zay Flowers is the only guy. Zay Flowers is the only guy who I know catches balls. And then it's the tight end every once in a blue moon. Otherwise, Lamar's running for his life, or it's Derrick Henry.
Okay, so we have 2 new Max Crosby tweets real quick. Here's the first
wait a
one.
minute. That's right. They fired Harbaugh and wiped out the whole staff. Baltimore's going to be totally different. Zay Flowers and Stefan Diggs? Yeah, okay.
So here's the first one. This is from Jordan Schultz. These are some bullet points that he's gotten from his sources around the league. The Cowboys don't plan on engaging again with Max Crosby. They did not trade. They did trade for Rashawn Gary and are ready to welcome him to Dallas. Number two, Trey Hendrickson, the Baltimore, is going to be one to watch for tomorrow. Number three, the Raiders are not happy at all, and they are going through how to proceed with this as we speak. No decisions have been made. Don't know what the hell decision they're making. The Ravens kind of made it for you. Number
I've got,
four, play.
yeah, go ahead.
Number four, players the Raiders have agreed to terms with have not been told anything. Those deals can be officially signed tomorrow at 4 p.m., as we know. People close to Max Crosby are. Wait. Oh, just say he's ahead of schedule and he's on track to be stronger than ever.
Well,
Now, there's
and
another.
I got the Shefty one, by the way.
Yeah, the Schefter one said Raiders
Yeah,
already have it.
already received the calls from quote unquote several teams inquiring about the availability of Crosby in a trade per source. For now, the Raiders are prepared to get Crosby healthy and have him play for Vegas, but they are listening to other teams. I think that's the Raiders bluffing their butts off right now.
That's exactly that. Their source is the Raiders GM praying
Right.
to get something back from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Raiders have a decision to make. They can cut him. If they want to save their money, they can cut him. Yes, they're only saving $5 million this year, but they have $50 million in space still, and it saves them every other year of his contract going forward. That's their option. Yeah, somebody might take them off their hands. There ain't no way in hell they're getting 2 firsts anymore.
No. They'll be lucky. What, Sam, you said a third? I think I was going more with about a fourth or fifth.
Okay, and now Cameron Wolf just tweeted out one NFL general manager told me everybody involved in the Max Crosby trade talks knew he would be out until June or July coming off of the knee surgery. Another opinion he got from an NFL decision makers Ravens got cold feet and it could impact how teams work with Baltimore going forward. So at the end of the day, we just got to figure out who fucked themselves more, the Raiders or the freaking Ravens. But the Ravens got to fuck both of them. So,
I mean, if you come out of this thinking that the Ravens did this on purpose, I could see that. But otherwise, your only other alternative is the Ravens did what every team does. You make sure that the player you're receiving is healthy.
okay, but somebody just came out with this tweet and said you can draft David Ajabo coming off a torn Achilles, but can't trade for Max Crosby.
Right.
Shit.
You weren't paying Ajabo $39 million or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, that's funny. And hey, let's not act like that was really funny to talk about because Ajabo stunk. Hey, at least they didn't trade a Dafio away. Oh wait, yeah, they did that too.
A while ago, Scott asked about contract restructuring for the Lions. So technically, the Lions are within compliance. They got about $5.5 million of cap space. I'm sure they would like more than that. But and I've brought it up before. Jared Goff has a $70 million cap hit this year. That's a 7-0. That's why everybody's like, what is going on with the restructuring? Why is it not happening? One of two things. You don't have to make public when you restructure somebody. The only thing you have to do is report it to the league, and it usually leaks. They have to report it to the league by 4 o'clock tomorrow. I mean, the restructure could have happened 2 weeks ago, and we just don't know. It is possible also they have not restructured him. that would be a clear indication that they feel they might go in a different direction when this contract is up.
No.
He is signed through 2028. And obviously, he'll be 34 then. And obviously, if you are restructuring, what you're doing is you are adding terms. You are adding years onto the end. Maybe they don't want to go past 2028 with him.
Yeah, they're not stupid like Cleveland.
I mean,
They
it's still
restructured Watson again.
that is still 3 more seasons. 3 more seasons in which time to get your next guy. That is certainly a possibility. But at the same time, $70 million is one hell of a cap hit for one single year. It drops a little bit next year. Right now, it's like 54.6, and then back up to 61 for his final year. Now there's other options if you want to make room. You can restructure / re-sign Amon-Ra, who's currently sitting at a 33. I'm sure they would probably like to extend him out because he's only 27 right now. He's signed through 2028 also. Which
Yeah, I was going to say that wouldn't be a bad thing to push him to 30, 32 or 30.
I was going to say he'd only be 29 when that contract technically runs out.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
See if he's willing to add a few years on top of that, stretch it out, give him some extra guaranteed money. You got this exact same deal with Penei Sewell. He's 26. He is currently signed through 2029, his age 29 year. He's a $28 million cap hit. You can decrease that, I'm sure. There's certainly options here, especially if you're willing to go down the kick the can down the road route.
I mean, in St. Brown, you pretty much, almost push him out long enough. You could just end up, making the whole career thing as a Lion. You guys would be in great shape.
Yeah.
It's not bad having a Calvin Johnson part 2. As far as another career player for your team. Those are very few in between.
Right. And as I mentioned, I think in our group chat, there's definitely been rumors about the Lions potentially trading Sam Laporta. Laporta is due an extension. We're coming up on his last year. I'm trying to look at.
I'd leave the man with the awesome name alone. You shouldn't restructure nothing off his name alone.
Like I said, players are usually pretty happy to restructure. It means they get more money up front.
Brian says the Ravens will be signing Hendrickson. Mark my words. They knew they could get a great pass rusher without having to give up those picks. Max Agent said he was way ahead of his rehab. Ravens just used the medical as the way to back out from buyer's remorse. And then he says, Sam, wake up.
Hell no. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I was saying, Laporta's in his last year. He actually hit a performance escalator for this season. So his cap hit is like 6.7. Dead cap of 1.3. You'd be saving 5. If it's that important to you, sure. But at the same time, if you're not going to give him a new contract after this year, when his rookie contract ends, I could certainly see them deciding to trade him, especially with this draft. We talked about it before, or we mentioned it on Sam on your show. There's a ton of tight ends in this draft.
Max Clare just screams Lion to me.
Yeah. And yes, all of this is leading up to they have to extend to Gibbs. I guess technically they don't have to. Do you really see them just letting him go?
Hell no.
No, they have built this offense around him at this point.
Yeah. Even with Pacheco as a backup.
He's in the 4th year of his deal. There is a club option for next year at $14 million.
Oh yeah.
And then he's a UFL. Yeah. Honestly,
I think they'll be taking that up, and then they will do.
They'll do an extension. They'll do an
they'll
extension
totally
this
do it.
coming off season. They will include the 5th year in it. You know how they do things.
Yeah. And
But-
then they'll tell Goff, well, dude, we'll be looking for somebody in next year.
And yes, Jack Campbell is the other one. He's the other one who's going into his last full year, and then there's a club option for 2027 at $22 million. There's your linebacker that's you were hoping just takes over the middle of your defense. So we will see.
Got a tweet from Lewis Riddick. Teams that have already have inquired about the ongoing situation with Max Crosby: Chiefs, Bears, Bills, Eagles.
Where did the Chiefs come into play?
Son of a bitch! Don't give them Max Crosby and Kenneth Walker. I can't. We just got rid of them. And also, by the way, who's told me to wake up? Was it Brian?
Yeah.
Brian, let me explain something to you. Zolt's my eyewitness. This show was supposed to happen and not happen 3 different times this week.
This is true.
Well, I was gonna say it was it was like another last second because my schedule changed. That overnight, by the way, is going to be next Monday night, and everything else got pushed back 2 weeks. So, yeah, tons of fun.
Yes, but I think the most egregious part is George. We were supposed to get away from this studio setup.
Yeah, that will be next week because I had nothing else prepped and ready to go as far as anything. So, yeah, this should be the last one.
So this is why a strike is needed. Look, our opinions don't even get listened to.
No, like I said, this was last minute, literally, since the schedule changed. And I was like, well, I'm not able to flip anything anyway.
Hold on. To be fair, the only last minute person this became a last minute thing to was me because I didn't see the message at 2:30 this afternoon.
This is true.
No, because the funny thing was, after the Crosby thing went down, the only reason I saw the message is because I was going to go in that chat and say, George, you have to be working fucking overnight, didn't you? Because I was going to say, how are we not going to talk about this? And I'm like, oh. Well, shit. Okay.
Yeah, so the next couple of Tuesdays will be earlier. And back with good old StreamYard. So we'll be flushing the Eve Mux project down the toilet. We'll get back to some normalcy.
Kind of like how the Raiders are flushing all the Ravens' contact info down the toilet.
That takes care of the 4 minutes. Say goodnight, Grayson.